When we talk about falling, those are the types of things we're talking. We're talking about that kind of thing. Shipwreck. Everything lost is through fire. Or even as far as no longer appropriate for the kingdom of heaven. In a renunciation, that's not stumbling and making some mistakes. That's a complete repudiation of one's faith. Mentally, heart, everything. And that's what we're talking about. But that is what it means to fall. And it's important to understand what fall is as we go and look at the life of Solomon. Because the life of Solomon is actually the secrets to both things. His life is a secret to how you rise and how you fall. 1 Kings 3. We're looking at Solomon just becoming king. Verse 1. Now Solomon, and it's interesting because it starts out with a wrong thing and not a right thing. Now Solomon made a treaty with Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and married Pharaoh's daughter. Then he brought her to the city of David until he had finished building his own house and the house of the Lord and the wall around Jerusalem. Meanwhile, the people sacrificed at the high places because there was no house built for the name of the Lord in those days. Then Solomon loved the Lord, walking in the statutes of his father David, except that he sacrificed and burned incense at the high places. Now, the king went to Gibeon to sacrifice there, for that was the great high place. Solomon offered 1,000 burnt offerings on that altar. At Gibeon, the Lord appeared to Solomon in a dream by night. And God said, "Ask, what shall I give you?" And that should spark the imagination. Right? What would you say? If all of a sudden you went to bed one night, and then God appeared to you and he just said, "Ask whatever it is and I'm going to give it to you. What do you want? Just ask and I'm going to give it to you." Wow. What would be open to you there? And Solomon said this, "You have shown great mercy to your servant David, my father, because he walked before you in truth and righteousness and in uprightness of heart with you. And you have continued great kindness for him, and you have given him a son to sit on his throne as it is to this day. Now, O Lord my God, you have made your servant king instead of my father David, but I am a little child. I do not know how to go out or come in. And your servant is in the midst of your people, whom you have chosen, a great people, too numerous to be numbered or counted. Therefore, give to your servant an understanding heart to judge your people, that I may discern between good and evil. For who is able to judge this great people of yours?" And the speech pleased the Lord, that Solomon had asked this thing. Then God said to him, "Because you have asked this thing, and have not asked for long life for yourself, nor asked for riches for yourself, nor have asked for the life of your enemies, but have asked for yourself understanding to discern justice. Behold, I have done according to your words. See, I have given you a wise and understanding heart. So there has not been anyone like you before you, nor shall anyone like you arise after you. And I have also given to you what you have not asked, both riches and honor. So there shall not be anyone like you among the kings all your days. So, if you walk in my ways, to keep my statutes and my commandments, as your father David walked, then I will lengthen your days." In this text is a whole bunch of secrets on how a person rises in their faith, how you grow, how you become something substantial in your faith. Rise and fall, and Solomon both. And just real quick, there are ways to grow in grace. There are ways to grow. Live the example. Solomon was doing really well while he lived his father's example. Keep the motives 100% pure. It's not enough to do godly things. Why are you doing them? Keep the motives pure. Value what God values. Value what God values. That includes people. It includes this church. It includes his vision. Value what God values. If we did those things, we would be like Solomon. You can't help but rise. You can't. It's like hot air in a balloon. You can't help but rise. And there are ways to fall. And just as 100% they will. All you have to do is start by getting overconfident. You're too far along the walk to ever be tempted by that. You're too far on your walk to fall in that way. Just get overconfident. Cling to the wrongs. Even as you're believing in God, cling to the wrongs. They will erode you. They will erode you. Indulge yourself in your children. Indulge yourself. I'm not saying you can't have a nice bowl of ice cream and treat yourself now and then. I'm saying if your mentality is the birthright of indulgence, you're in trouble. And your children will be in trouble. You cannot help but fall if you do these things. How can you say that so certainly? Because history has proven it. History has proven it. Bottom line, two ways of living, rising and falling. And they're kind of mutually exclusive. They can't coexist really. And that really just drives a hard question on all of us here, is that if you look at the traits of what rises a person in their spiritual and what makes them fall, which one better describes you? Which one better describes you? Because that's where you're going. 100% sure that's where you're going.